how I got good at trading Forex. So first of all, let me give you a bit of a background of how I actually started out, what I was actually doing. The trading style that I adopted in the past was swing trading. Swing trading can be from holding a position from a couple of days to a couple of weeks to even months. And so that was my trading style. I enjoyed the fact that there was a potential to catch tons of pips, but you guys know what happened. I would always try to hold on for the 100 pips, for the 200 pips, always try to hold on, but every single time price would come back down and I've hit my stop profit or hit my stop loss. Swing trading just wasn't for me, but swing trading was my style of trading for at least 2 years. So just imagine every single time for 2 years, I was trying to go for the real big moves, but you guys know these big pushes don't happen all the time. So there'll be sometimes I'll be holding onto one position for a very, very long time. So in addition to that, I would also try to enter multiple times for that swing trade. There was one time I was in a pair, I managed to get 16 positions in one pair at one time. That's just bizarre trading. Absolutely bizarre trading, and I would never ever promote that or recommend that ever again. That was my style of trading. That was just terrible. And at the same time, what I was doing is I was focusing on support and resistance, bullish flags, bearish flags, break and retest. I was also focusing on ascending channels, descending channels, triangle patterns, all kinds of things, all kinds of retail concepts, and they were unstable. And it was especially unstable for me because, like I said, I'm always trying to catch the big moves. And sometimes those things might give you like the 15, maybe 20, 30 pips, but I was trying to go for the really big moves. It was very unstable for me, and it was dreadful to trade that kind of trading style using those concepts. And then one thing changed for me. I started focusing on what the banks are doing, what the institutions are doing. But I started focusing on liquidity. I started focusing on where the money is in the markets, or where the stop losses are. That was probably like in my 3rd year, maybe coming up to the 3rd year of trading, where I started focusing on liquidity. And that is when the game changed. I started focusing on the money, and guess what? I started taking partial profits whilst the price was running out liquidity. So with the support and resistance and all those other things that I was trading, I didn't really know where to take partial profits. There was different structural points that you could have taken partial profits. There was different zones, but there was nothing solid for me to say, okay, cool, I'm always going to take it at this point here. And so when I started focusing on liquidity, when I started focusing on the money, I knew exactly where to take my partial profits at. And it was where there was going to be willing participants who was going to continue my trade. If you guys don't know about all of that and the exchanging of contracts, I did break that down in my very last video, so go ahead and check that out. And so I started focusing on the money. I started focusing on where the banks and where the large institutions are in drawdown also, because they would want to go back to that point, mitigate the positions, and then go and run the money. Those were the main 2 things that stuck in my head every single day. Where's the money? And where they in drawdown. So when I started trading towards the money and I started seeing results, I started seeing wins, all of a sudden I started seeing some good wins, I started seeing some consistency. What I did differently to what I did back then was I stuck to one strategy, and that was it. Back then I was in all kinds of strategies, target the liquidity, and that was it. Then what I planned to do was I planned to use that strategy every single day I was going to trade. And so that strategy was always trading towards the money, So this is why I came up with the whole trade towards the money, TTTM, always. And one of the most important parts of the strategy was that it didn't win every single time. This is not a 100% strategy. This is not a 90% strategy. This wasn't a strategy that you're winning every single day, every single time. You're never going to find a strategy like that. Unless you design these markets, you don't know whether it's going to hold or not. Do you understand? But the key thing is that you need to be disciplined enough and have good risk management to go ahead and implement your strategy. The good thing about the whole strategy was that when you won a good amount of R. And when you lost, you only lost 1%. So even if you took 6 trades, you lost 3 and you won 3, the R is going to be beautiful. And when I say the R, I mean the return. The return you're going to get from that trade is going to far outweigh your losses. Another reason why I was able to get good at Forex was because I was disciplined. These are very like basic stuff, but I was disciplined. Back then, I was trying to enter 16 times on one pair that was dropping. So let's just say Euro USD is making expansion up to the upside. And in that whole expansion leg, I'm trying to jump in as many times as possible. I will be in Euro USD 16 times, USD Swiss 16 times, USD JPY, GPUSD, gold, AUD NZD I'll be in all kinds of pairs as many times as possible. And then the crazy thing is when I lost a lot because everything will lose. Every single trade would lose. Because if GU's going down, EU's going down, NU's going down, AU's going down. But then when I won big. You can see that on the 26th of June, all in one day, I made about 500 and I believe it was £536 profit by trading 0.05s, family. Look, 0.05s, you can see that. So I'm in multiple currency pairs multiple times, yeah? And so that was on the 26th of June. So when I move down now, this is the 11th of July, so you can see that completely a separate month, a different month. I posted this one, and check this out, £540 again, really small account balance, all right? It was a really small account balance, £540 again, and as you can see, I'm in it with 0.05. This was on the 9th of August now, yeah? The last one I showed you was the 11th of July. This one's the 9th of August. And as you can see, using the same strategy. This was just beautiful. So this is when I made 4 figures using the exact same strategy. That was just me being just silly, and I was being absolutely silly. Now I'm disciplined. I jump in one time. If I see a potential second entry, I might go ahead and get that. And that's it. I'm Gucci. I don't need to be zealous. I don't need to be going crazy in these markets. I'm not trying to flip anything. I'm just trying to grow my account responsibly with minimal stress. Because back then when things went against me, I'll be stressing, sweating. But now when I lose, I know I'm losing 1% per trade. There's no need to stress. I know what 1% equates to, and I'm comfortable with that. And guys, look, excuse me, if you hear my sons in the background making noise, look, it's just the way it goes. I'm a dad of 3. Dad of 3 out here. And trying to keep the boys quiet is, these are some young boys. Yeah, they have energy for days. Another reason I got good at trading Forex is I stopped comparing myself to other people. There's multiple traders on YouTube and everybody's winning. Everybody's doing the most. Everyone's catching a 1 to 18, a 1 to 20, a 1 to this. Everyone's catching big R trades. You see someone who can catch a 1 to 10, but you're catching 1 to 5s. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader. That's your style of trading. Guess what? Those 1 to 5s are going to build up. I used to see people saying that they were catching hundreds and hundreds of Rs. I just stopped watching that stuff. I just stopped comparing myself to these kind of people, started focusing on myself and my trading. When I was disciplined enough to pick one kind of trading style, entering when the large funds are mitigating their positions and then taking it to the money, that's when I started seeing results. And also, look, backtesting. Backtesting helped so much. When I first started off trading, I didn't backtest for nobody. Are you mad, bruv? I was gonna waste my time, so this was my mentality. I was gonna waste my time backtesting. When I first started learning how to trade, I studied the course for 1 week and I was trading the second week. No time for backtesting. I wasn't even about that backtesting life. Then everything was blessed for me. I was like, wow, I'm making grands, I'm making this, and check me out. I've doubled my account. And then the following week, I then blew my whole account because I thought backtesting was a waste of time. Backtesting is gonna be the real game changer because once you've backtested, you've now seen these things play out over and over and over again. It might not happen every single day. It might happen 3 times a week according to the concepts that you're applying. And then when it does play out, it's a good return. But now I've seen it happen. So it happened a few times this week. It happened 2 times that week. That means that was 2 opportunities to jump into a trade, or that was 3 opportunities to jump into a trade. Now you've seen it happen, and you've seen it happen for time. You've now developed a belief system around what you have learned. Now you can start adding whatever you backtested to your arsenal. So it doesn't just happen overnight. It took me quite a long time to get comfortable with my day trading, especially because I didn't know anyone that was doing the trading style that I'm doing right now. But luckily, you guys have me.